Welcome to Catholic Mom Mindset, a daily show where you learn to walk closely with the Holy Spirit so you can live the life God is calling you to. I'm your host, Sterling Jaquith. Let us begin. Do this if your children are constantly interrupting you. I almost didn't record this because I thought, I've seen this on the internet so many times, maybe people don't know about it, but it totally blew my mind when a mom told me about this. And so I'm going to tell you, just in case anyone listening doesn't know this, it's such a good tool. So when you are talking on the phone or with a friend or with another child, untrained children will come bounding up to you with great joy and excitement or upsettedness. Mom, 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 mom. And they will just start talking at you. This is what children do. This isn't a problem. You don't have a bad child. You just have a normal human who thinks what's going on in their life is the most important thing, and they just want to tell you. And you're their favorite person. Totally makes sense. But it is our job as moms to train them, to not be barbarians, to be somewhat civilized people in this world. And so here is a great way that you can help your children not to interrupt you. So you teach them that when they have something that they want to tell you, they come and they put their hand on you, on your shoulder, on your leg, somewhere. Okay? And that signals to you, hey, mom, I want to say something to you. Okay? And then while you're still talking, you can put your hand on top of their hand, which means, hey, kiddo, I see that you are here and I know that you want to say something to me. Okay? They put their hand on you, you put your hand over their hand. Okay? And then when there's a natural pause in the conversation, you turn and you say, yes, darling, what do you need? And then they ask you a question and then they scurry off back into childhood land. It is such an amazing tool, such a powerful tool. It does take some training. So you can sit everybody down all at once, even your 12 or 15-year-old. You could teach them just to stand by you, maybe with like a hand signal or something. They don't need to put their hand on you. So I might come up with something slightly different for older children. But teach them and then give them lots of grace and chances because it's a new skill. They haven't done it before. They haven't practiced it before. And you're just going to remind them. But eventually you will have super polite children who do not interrupt you. We need to teach children to not interrupt adults anymore. I was talking to someone who said she remembers when adults used to walk in the room, the children were supposed to stop talking and playing and stand up, like just to see if the adults needed anything. And I think that that's a little extreme. Like we don't need that all the time. And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to teach children to just like pay attention and respect the adults that are around. Now, some psychology books might say, oh, this is terrible. We squash the desires of children and we make it seem like everything that the adults want are more important and that what the child wants, doesn't matter. Okay, so I think there's room to notice that and to not squash them, but also to just teach them to be polite. What they want does matter, but that is not an excuse to interrupt a conversation that's happening. And so let us be Catholic moms that are raising polite kids. Now, that doesn't mean kids that are going to be doormats, that aren't going to stand up for what we believe in, that can't handle any conflict. But there are some basic societal norms that I think are good. Like, don't interrupt two people who are talking. Obviously, it's different if there's an emergency. Right? But even right now, when I go to mass and then afterwards, all the adults hang out, I don't walk up to two women and go, hey, you know what I was doing this week that was so cool? I wait until there's a natural pause in the conversation or that they acknowledge me. I'm like, hey, you guys, how are you doing? And then I try to balance how much I speak with how much they speak. I try to give everyone a chance to share or say something. This is a good practice. This is a good skill. So I hope this helps you. If you have kids who've been interrupting you, you can use this really easy, simple tool to help them to not do that. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day.